Today is April 2nd, so it's Big Beautiful Tariff Day. Yay! Donald Trump is calling this Liberation Day. I do not think this is going to work out the way that he thinks it is. I recently saw a video of Ronald Reagan, and boy, not a fan of Ronald Reagan. But Ronald Reagan, sitting in one of his flannel shirts, giving his kind of fireside chat thing, is reading off this piece of paper, talking about the damages what tariffs could do. And he mentions quite a few things that are actually true. Targeted tariffs, I can absolutely see that. I could defend something like that. You know, match with government subsidies for those particular products made in America. You can incentivize Americans to buy American products and not buy the foreign goods by putting a tariff on them. They cost more. It's cost effective to buy here in the States. And if you're doing it on targeted things for a temporary basis, that can be very effective. An across the board tariff is just absolutely insane. I mentioned the other day, Donald Trump was, talking about the tariffs on automobiles, and he says, he said he didn't really care, if prices go up because people are going to buy American. Let me explain something to you. There is not one car in this country that is made completely in America. Chevy, Ford, Stellantis, Dodge, whatever you want to call it, they don't make their cars in America. I mean, Ford makes their F-150 in Mexico. Stellantis gets a lot of their products from Canada, shipped in. Sometimes they're manufactured here and said it's made in America, but they're getting parts from all over the place. Whether it's China, it's Japan, it's Canada, it's Mexico. All of these parts are coming from different places. So there is not one car that is wholly made in America. That's just not how it works. That's not how our capitalistic model has devolved to. Back in 1992, Ross Perot said, if we pass NAFTA, which NAFTA was bad, but he said that there's going to be a huge sucking sound of our economy leaving this country, our factories leaving this country, and they have. Now, Donald Trump might be thinking that this is a good idea because it'll bring these companies back. But a company is not built in a day. There is not going to be a factory that just shoots up out of the ground like it's fucking magic. That's not how this works. And with the globalized economy that we have and getting parts from all different places, no car is made completely in America. So every car company is going to be subject to these tariffs. Whether it's I'm getting my alternator from Canada, or I'm getting my exhaust system put on in Mexico. Everything is going to be subject to these tariffs, especially in the automotive world. I mean, even Honda and BMW and Mercedes that actually have factories here in the States that employ American workers, they're going to be suffering too because they're importing parts or cars or or seats or steering wheels or tires or something from somewhere else. So every car is subject to these tariffs. That means that all of the prices are going to go up. And Donald Trump is, I was going to say, he is either lying or he's stupid. Honestly, it can be both. He can lie and be stupid at the same time. But this is going to have knock-on effects like you wouldn't believe. I mean, for employment in the country, for people that make parts in this country or make parts out of the country, or the shipping to bring it in. These are American workers that bring in these products, whether it's the truck drivers, whether it's the ships that the people that work on ships that bring them in to the country, whether it's the ports that the longshoremen that actually bring them off of the ships and put them on the trucks and send them out. There are millions and millions of American workers who are going to be affected by this, not to mention the regressive nature of a tariff. Look, all of this is Trump's mad idea that they're going to use tariffs to replace taxes so rich people get to pay less in taxes. This year, or maybe it's next year, it might be 2026, the Trump tax cuts of 2017 are going to expire. And Trump does not want that to happen. He wants to continue these. Now, the clever thing that he's doing is that, like this is what they were paying before Trump did his tax cuts. And then they do a tax cut in 2017. And now they're going to either shoot back up to where they were, or he's going to give them an even bigger tax cut, which will take it down to here. So Trump will be able to say, oh, well, it's not that big of a tax cut. I'm only going from here to here. But they're already having a tax cut from 2017, so it's even more of a tax cut. It's going to cost us about $4.5 trillion for this tax cut. And most of it is going to go to the wealthy. And he'll say, oh, well, you're going to get, such and such, in a tax rebate. Well, good luck with that. They're shutting down half of the IRS offices. They're all getting, or half of them have gotten shut down. So, good luck on getting that rebate check. But let's just say it goes smoothly and you get your rebate and it's $300. What does that $300 look like in comparison to a 25% import tax or a 25% rate hike, price hike on your new car or your new used car? Used cars are not going to be spared from this either, because if the new prices are going up, then people are going to be going, okay, well, maybe I'll just go ahead and buy a used car. Well, that means that those prices are going to go up too, because people know that it's harder to get cars, the scarcity of the market. People are going to be buying more used cars, and then those prices are going to go up. There is going to be no escape from this. And Donald doesn't seem to care. Whether he knows or not, he just doesn't seem to care. But he thinks that this is the panacea for everything. The savior of America is going to be tariffs and tax cuts. I think he's going to have a rude awakening. Either we're going to have a huge economic collapse. Honestly, I think that we are assured to be going into a recession. How big a recession it is, or if it's even a depression, that remains to be seen. But we are absolutely going to have we're already in stagflation. People are not spending money. In the market, they're not spending money. They're hedging their bets. Regular everyday folk are holding their money tight because they don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, because everything is always in flux. When it comes to stock market likes consistency. They don't like drastic change, and everything kind of flows downhill from there. When I think about, the economy, I don't immediately think, well, how are the rich people feeling? Because that's when, the stock market green line go up, stock market red line go down. Rich people are very sad, but it has a knock-on effect. It matriculates down to you, the common everyday citizen. Whether you're working poor or middle class, you are going to suffer. And it's not just going to be cars, it's going to be your groceries, and your rent's going to go up. It's happening already. The cost of goods are going to continue to rise, and it will be American goods that go up as well, because free market capitalism, if their prices go up 25%, then I could raise mine 15%. And you'll still be able to go, well, at least it's not as expensive as them, but you still raised the fucking price, didn't you? So honestly, I think that Trump and the Republican Party, they're in for a rude awakening.